Welcome to the RIP 28 podcast. This is the RIP 28 podcast. This is a podcast where a few friends get together and we talk about a few things. Now, some of those things you might like, some of those things you might not like, but we keep on talking about them on the RIP 28 podcast. I am the world's greatest podcast host, and I'm joined by, well, two of my friends and a dude we acknowledge every so often. Welcome. What's going on, LBZ? LBZ, Sheriff Brown. How you doing, Sheriff?
Sheriff Brown, aka Beezy the GOAT, man. I'm here as always with my good people, feeling dignified, and I'll tell you why later when Sly finish his thing. But we ready to get it. Let's rock and roll.
Bottom corner, we got Stevie Wonder's son. The one and only one of our return guests and a comment regular. The one and only A-Rod. How you doing, A-Rod?
I'm doing wonderful. Sheriff Brown, I would be upset that he would talk about you at the start of the podcast. He don't really know you. That's really disappointing. And Sly, I'm offended that you would talk about my good brother like that.
Okay. So it's me you was talking about. It's me.
My bad, bro.
Oh, okay.
My bad. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. My bad.
Apologize, bro. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Sly.
All right. Now we do have a special guest, a return guest. She is not only a return guest, she is a hold on 1 second. I'm gonna get it right. I want to make sure I say it right. Make sure I say it right. She is a wife, a mother, a boxer mom, a lawyer, a professor, stroke survivor, mental health advocate. And all of that is nice. But she is the unofficial legal counsel of the RIP 28 podcast. The one and only, the Nicole Bates. How you doing, man?
The official, unofficial counsel. That's I would have to say that's my favorite title. So
there it is.
It's good to be in the number.
You heard that, A.A. Ron? Don't act like you didn't hear that.
We about to start.
Y'all supposed to add the pool clean in there too. World's greatest pool.
She does it all. We actually,
really?
We're about to start some frivolous lawsuits too. We're gonna see some. The RIP 28 podcast needs some money, so we're gonna have some slip and falls coming up pretty soon. So we're gonna need her to help us out on that in a little bit. These slip and falls.
Hey, I think we got one coming up tomorrow when I return to work. Oh, I can feel it.
Oh Lord! Stop!
I can feel it. And Sly, you forgot one of her titles too.
What's that?
She is one of our richest friends.
Oh, yes.
She's one of our richest friends.
One of our richest friends.
She's definitely one of our richest friends.
We talk about Shauna being rich, but D. Nicole is really rich. You know how rich she is.
How rich is she?
She is so rich. When she get gas, she don't even jiggle the handle when she finished.
Man, look at here.
He just pull it out, put it back in.
You're supposed to jiggle the handle?
Look at that. Poor people, we try to get every little bit of gas out of them.
We hold it like this and try to make it out. Rich people like you only let it go all the way up to a number. You just stop. I get some more gas tomorrow.
She hit no. When she hit a click, she stopped. When she hit a click.
Click.
I can't. Y'all doing the most already. It's too soon. Too soon.
It's called honesty.
Big dog.
Honesty.
How big is Fly Head? That's how big your bank account is.
Wow, stop
Big
it.
Big money.
Listen. We just tell the truth on the RIP 28 part. We give the people what they want. They don't want lies, so we bring the truth.
We bring the truth. That's what we do.
And there's nothing wrong with that. You represent very well, and we are very proud of it.
Well, thank you.
Very proud of it.
I do what I can.
We set up here. Oh, shout out to Stacy. Stacy said, "Hey, Nikki, maybe Sly will act right." First of all, Sly acts right every week. Okay.
Tell them, Sly. Tell the people.
Every week I act right. That's who I
Tell
am.
the people.
Sly, don't start lying to the people, Sly. Don't do that.
I'm Mr.
Sly don't
Act.
lie.
Sly don't
Sly
lie.
don't lie. Sly don't lie.
If you can't believe somebody named Sly, who can you believe?
Who can
Really
you believe?
though?
Who can you
Who
believe?
can you believe?
Oh, boy.
You know,
Here
I
we
make
go.
make sure I stay right, man. Shout out to the people, man. Our president ain't here, but his wife had a birthday. Shout out to T. She had a birthday this week.
She Green Nesbitt. Happy belated.
So I guess he wanted to put his wife before the podcast. What a loser. What a loser. He ain't really dedicated.
I'm so done.
If he was dedicated to this, man, he would have been there. But I guess he wanted to spend some time with the old lady, and you know.
Don't you say old lady, you know T
Oh.
gonna get us.
But but old lady ain't. I don't know why
She from Memphis. She
but
from
that's-
Memphis.
but that's
She
not
from
a
Memphis.
derogatory comment. It's just like, I don't
She
know.
from Memphis.
Old lady shouldn't be an offensive topic.
But Sly,
Mhm.
you're not a woman, so how can you determine that it's not derogatory when you talk about old lady?
That's right.
Because I speak for women.
Checkmate.
I speak for women.
I'm just saying, I'm cool with better half, you know, that kind of stuff. But old lady, come on.
So if your husband said, "Hey, this is my old lady right here," you get mad in a loving
Never said it, won't say it.
to your face. You might have said it behind your back. You might have.
Nah,
Listen.
nah.
Man, I'm bad, man.
He won't even say ball and chain. He won't do nah.
No, man. You're a pretty big guy now. You sound like you had him in Chesterson. Like, hey, he know better. That's what
Hey,
he made
like
it
she
sound
said,
like.
like we said earlier, she just bringing the truth.
And you know what happened? Yeah, he don't want to go to court.
Because I know all the judges. So no.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
He can't win.
Well, won't you help Ron get some of his charges thrown out?
Unfortunately, I don't have no charges because I'm a good guy. I don't do nothing.
Hey, what up to
That's what we tell the world.
Joseph Green out there? What up, Stanley Price? Hey, shout out to Stanley Price. His son, Asante, Asante is the newest member of the Harlem Trotters. Shout out to Asante, Benedict College grad, made the Harlem Globetrotters, man. Shout out to young Mr. Price doing his thing, becoming a world traveler with the Harlem Globetrotters.
That's what it is.
Good
yes, sir. AP.
And that's a big deal.
Yeah, man, that's a big deal, man. Shout out to that young man and his basketball goals and his basketball.
I heard they tried to make you the gorilla for the Phoenix Suns. Schedule didn't. That's the rumor word on the street.
Oh my God.
That is low.
It's too early.
That is low.
It's too early.
Shout out to Damon Williams. Damon, always the official sponsor for the Rip 28 podcast. Damon makes sure those stars keep going. Yeah, well, Damon said Keenan. Asante played a lot of schools. He played a lot of places, but Keenan was one of them. He did.
Hey, he was a world traveler in high school. He was a world traveler in high school. So.
Yeah, he been around.
First high school, played 7 schools in 2 years. It's amazing.
Hey, I'll tell you what, they must get their talent from their mom.
Gotta get
from
it
their mom's side, because I tell you what, his other kids, younger kids too, out there, Asante, Ayo, his daughter, and then you got Asa, he's in college, and then he has a son that I had the privilege of coaching this year, Aiden. He runs for the track club too. He's very good in track as well. I know they didn't get that from Damon. Damon played like AA Ron.
Gotta get it from his mom. Gotta get it from his mom. Yeah, man. That's all right, man. That is all right, man. But anyway, David talking about portal. Yep. He was in that high school portal.
NIL.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Hey, well, first, there's a lot going on in the world today, man. But a lot of people came here. They want to hear our opinion about what's going on in Colombia. All right. So we're gonna break down this news, I guess, for the people who don't know. But something happened in our hometown. A couple of weeks ago, or maybe a week ago, a 13-year-old boy was caught stealing a car, and then during the chase or whatever, when he was getting out of the car, he ended up shooting a police dog. He shot and killed the police dog.
Bunny.
Yeah, Bunny. I think that was the police dog.
Yeah.
K9 Bunny.
And now, for those of you all who don't know, anytime you kill or shoot a police dog, they treat that dog like a real person.
Yep.
That dog is like a real law officer. So it's like you shot a cop.
Yep.
So because the kid 13, they arrested him, and it's only so much trouble you can put a 13-year-old in. But I don't know all that part. I'm not the lawyer. I just slept at a Holiday Inn last night. But what ended up happening, the big thing that happened is they arrested the child's mother. They arrested the child's mother because her kid was out. Well, what ends up happening, and this is what a lot of people don't know, the part that people don't know, the mom, I guess, got a phone call or something and went and picked the kid up as the kid was trying to escape or get away. She picked the kid up, took the kid home, ended up washing his clothes and trying to throw away his tennis shoes. So they came and they ended up arresting the mom, and she was charged with accessory after the fact.
Yes.
Because she picked her son up at 3 a.m. So now what ends up happening, we're going to share this screen. Sheriff Leon Lott, he's the sheriff of Richland County. He's the sheriff of Richland County. And side note, we all went to school with Sheriff Lott's daughters. So we know Sheriff Lott. We've probably known him since middle school. I always thought he was the coolest white man on the face of the earth, because he used to dress up like he was Miami Vice. He would come in with a suit with a t-shirt and shoes with no socks. And he thought he was like Miami Vice. So I always thought he was the coolest white man on the face of the earth. But anyway, what he's doing, if you highlight this is a press release he put out, and they said the sheriff's department, the part in yellow said the sheriff's department will begin investigating the circumstances surrounding any arrest or detention of any juvenile who is caught late at night or in the early morning hours committing crimes. If investigators determine that the parent was complicit and allowed or condoned the behavior, they will face the possibility of getting charged. How y'all feel about that? How y'all feel about that?
We're gonna let the unofficial official legal counsel speak to that first, because that's her area, not ours.
But is this legal?
I don't practice criminal law. I used to, but I don't anymore. But this is the thing. I think it's important that we hone in on the fact that they're focusing on juvenile crimes that are committed late at night or early in the morning, time frames in which minors should not be out unsupervised. And so basically what Lott is doing is basically holding parents accountable for not being parents. Period. I don't have a problem with that. I used to be an attorney at DSS, and you would be amazed about how many of the kids ended up in DSS custody because they would go straight from DJJ, the parents, and they'd be released from DJJ. Parent wouldn't want them to come home. And so basically the child is now abandoned, right? And goes into DSS custody and become problematic in foster homes and things like that. So no, parents need to step up and be parents. Stop trying to be their friends. I believe personally, as a Black woman who was born in the 70s and raised old school with a grandma and a mom who didn't mind, whipping my behind. When law enforcement and the government and so forth got involved with interfering with parents' ability to discipline their children, what you expect was gonna happen?
Yep. Yep.
Come on.
Like when I read the article, the biggest thing that stuck out was like, and I posted it on when I saw you post a link was, why would a 13-year-old be allowed to be out at 3:00 in the morning? Like what?
Exactly.
Even if you're a bad parent, I have children. Even if you're a bad parent, right? At some point during the course of the night, 11, 12 o'clock at night, you check in your child's room, right? You at least you are aware, and not only that, how bad of a parent are you that your 13-year-old calls you at 3:00, you know committed a crime, and instead of you saying, "Hey, let me show you the consequences for your actions," because mind you, he was still in the car, so that's even more compound. That's more mind-boggling. He's 13, but instead, go get him. You try to shield him from the consequences. You try to help him get away with the crime. And then, I've seen people, I'm reading comments and they shocked and appalled about this, Leon Lott putting out this press release where they should be like, yo, like you're a horrible parent. Now, mind you, our kids get away with stuff. We can't see everything. Like we can't see every aspect of what a child's doing, but he's 13, he has a gun, he's stealing cars. So clearly this didn't just start that night. So there is a history of something that's going on. So the parents be held accountable in that case, I believe.
I will say this, and there are cases where the parents are not home that time of night because they are out trying to work. Maybe it's a single mother. I don't know. What she did was wrong, but holding them responsible, I think, is going to have to come with some kind of context. Because if I'm not there, I'm out trying to provide for my child. How can I be in two places at one time?
Well,
I can't earn a living and be there at 3:00 in the morning. Maybe I'm a nurse. Maybe it's my turn to work the 6P to 6A. Don't know. I think it has to come with some type of context, although I do agree with the rule.
Well, they did say at the bottom of the press release, they said that Richland County Sheriff Department offers several programs through our youth services unit that can help parents and teens, but parents have to do their part and enroll them and bring them to class. That's the huge thing right there. I think you have to have alternatives for some of these kids. And kids who are in situations like that, you have to have reasons for kids to stay off the street. Now, I don't know if you did, Ron, but I know Aaron did. We played midnight hoops. I remember in Columbia, we used to have midnight hoops. And that was Friday night, I think. Friday, it might have been Friday or Saturday. I wasn't sure. But we played, it was a basketball. Your park played another park, and the game started around 10 o'clock or whatever, and it probably ended like 1 in the morning or something like that. But the idea was you would have all of the youth from an area playing midnight hoops, and the teams were sponsored by the sheriff department. So you had a positive place for the kids to go and do something and stay off the street and not cause problems. Brandy just said they still have midnight hoops. Okay, that's good. That's good. They still have it. But
kids could also go to bed. I mean, I don't know about nobody else. Take your ass to bed. It's 2:00 in the morning. You should be in the bed.
But
that's just it. But you're speaking to something that I was just about to bring up. Because the old folks used to say idle hands are the devil's workshop. And you just don't, like, I drove around my neighborhood on Christmas Day. No kids were outside. Remember when we were little, Christmas Day, everybody was outside on their new bike, their new skates, their new skateboard, whatever. And kids just don't go outside anymore. And so guess what? Because they're home doing what I call the Apple prayer, they're on their phone all day. They're not tired. They're not tired. So they're up all night. You know what I mean?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
You got to give them something to do. And I totally agree with you. I remember growing up, the parks used to be full, whether you could play or not. You were at the park or doing some type of activity throughout the day. But now, man, all they do is sit around and, like you say, the idle mind is a devil's workshop. And also that time of night, old folk used to say, ain't nothing open that late but the Waffle House and legs. And at 13, I
Mhm.
know he ain't going to get no leg, you
Right.
know. So what you doing? You out doing something stupid.
Right. My
You out
grandma used to
doing
say
something
the three
stupid.
Ds: death, danger, and disease.
Okay, look at you. See, that's why we brought you on, because you're educated. And Aaron told you
Told you too educated for this
Stop.
podcast.
that.
Great, that's some great knowledge there. I'm gonna have to use that on somebody.
But Damon Williams had a good point. He said we had the street light rule. By the time
Hmm.
that street light came on, you knew what to do. You could be outside from 8 o'clock in the morning till them street lights came on. When the street lights came on, it was time for you to start heading in.
But
Unfortunately, now when the street lights come on, that's when they starting to go out.
Exactly.
but
You
here's
know
Well,
what
my
I'm saying?
here's my problem and here's my issue. We all did stuff we wasn't supposed to do. Let's not sit up here and act like we were perfect kids. And we did plenty of
that was
things
perfect.
that our parents, yeah, okay, you was in Japan, you was different. You ain't had them Columbia problems. But
The river.
but our thing was we did things we didn't have business doing. But at 3 o'clock in the morning, at 13 years old, we wasn't on the streets at 3 o'clock in the morning. At
No.
13 years old, I wasn't on the street 3 o'clock in the morning until I was in college. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right,
But
right.
and so my problem is if you are a parent and your child is on the street at 3 o'clock in the morning, even if he ain't stealing the car, even if he just walked in minding his business, you got a huge problem for your child to be on the street at 3 o'clock in the morning.
You ain't
Now,
got no business out there. You ain't nothing. I don't care if you minding your business. You already setting yourself up, especially as a young black male. I don't care if you are minding your business. You are wrong. It don't matter.
Correct.
So we know that. So we have to start being preventative instead of reactive to things. We got to start preventing these things instead
Yep.
of having this reaction to, oh, that's bad about the 13-year-old. But what things have we put in place for that 13-year-old to direct him another way?
and
That
then I
plays a
think
part in it.
And
a
then
lot.
also, like for people to be able. So, what disturbed me the most about that whole story is like, so as the mom, you wasn't you didn't know where he was. He was out doing whatever, but he called you, which means that you have a relationship because he called you first.
Right.
And you, parent, your ideal and objective was to save your son. Why you didn't try to save him at 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock when, hey, go to bed or you can't leave or I'm going to stay up, make sure you don't leave the house. Like that, when I was younger, well, not younger, because I'm, 38 now. But when I was like, I was like, but when I was a little younger, but when I, anyway, don't worry about the story. Y'all go ahead. I can go ahead.
My grandma say, when you lie, make sure it's believable.
Hey, check this out though. But on a serious note, you say why she didn't save him at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. This started years prior.
Oh
Yeah.
This started years
Yeah.
prior. You should have he showed signs of it years prior. He didn't just start going out
Right.
3 o'clock in the morning, toting pistols and robbing
Right.
and stealing cars. Like I said, we got to prevent that stuff, man.
We do. But one of the things that, like, I grew up in
He's
Saxon
lucky he
homes,
didn't get his life taken.
and we have gotten away from the village mentality to
Definitely.
where Joseph Green pointed it out. I was going to bring it up. I could be out doing something on one side of the neighborhood, and by the time I got to my grandma's house, someone on the other side of the neighborhood has already called and told my grandmother Nikki was out here doing ABC 1 2 3, and then my grandma is ready to jump all over my behind once I walk through the door.
They
I've
had
had
phones when you grew up,
neighbors,
Nikki?
huh?
They had phones when you grew up?
It was the
Stop.
rotary
See,
ones.
first of all,
I just got a quick question.
don't come for me and I didn't sit for you. Don't do that.
Hey,
I was just trying to make sure the story
Don't
was
do that.
believable.
Because we know y'all were sitting, your time they were sending carrier pigeons. We knew about that.
Well, listen,
Ron. That's Ron.
That's a lie. I didn't know they had a Saxon homes in Japan. I thought you grew up in Japan.
No, I went to high school in Japan, but the whole time I was going to St. Andrews, I lived in Saxon Homes. I went to Carver Elementary. I was supposed to go to W.A. Perry.
Homes is not in Japan. I'm not buying.
I went to high school in Japan.
It's called Saxon Homes.
I know. That's a home.
That's a home.
I can't. I can't with y'all.
Sly, what is called Sly?
They're trying to
Sexual homes.
Sexual
Sexual
horns.
homes.
they're trying to have you wax on, wax off. He wasn't
You
whooping
know,
you.
don't do that. Don't do that.
Hey, but I'm gonna
Don't
tell
do
you
that.
something else though. I'm gonna tell you something else that's gone. You remember when we was coming up, A.A. Ron, Sly, and Nikki, if you played on a sports team, boy, the worst thing you could almost do is let your coach find out you was out there showing out and cutting the food.
Yes.
Well, here's
You couldn't
something.
do that.
Here's something. You know, I guess weekly I got to piss somebody off. So I'm gonna tell the truth the way I see the truth right now. And this is the ugly truth nobody wants to acknowledge or look at. The only people who are worried about this law and about the actions that Leon Lott is taking are the bad parents. The bad parents are the ones who worried about this problem. My kid don't live in Columbia, but my kid's 16. I'm not worried about my kid being out at 3 in the morning. I'm not worried, bro. You ain't worried about your kid being out at 3 in the morning.
No,
You know what I'm
no.
saying? So this law doesn't affect me. I don't care. I don't care about that law. Hey, go and throw all of them in jail as far as I'm concerned. You know, throw all the bad parents in jail too. And the mom, and this gonna piss some people off, but the mom who kid shot the dog, she need to go and sit down too. She need to sit down. Maybe she don't need to go to jail, but she need a parenting class. She need to be put on some type of probation, and while her son taking his probation classes, she need to be taking her parenting class.
But she the one that went and tried to hide the stuff though.
That's why I said she need to get a piece of it.
But the thing about it is, and like you say, Sly, might piss some people off, but the truth is, somebody got to be the example.
Yeah.
So Leon Lott got to make the example out of somebody to let them know, I'm not playing with y'all. I'm not playing with you. If I catch a kid out here, 3 in the morning, 1 in the morning, 4 in the morning, doing something he or she ain't got no business doing, I got something for you.
Exactly.
And also, it's the severity of what, like, I think that's the part that I seen a lot of people online like, oh, he's not great. But you got to look at the severity of the act is what caused. It's like a knee-jerk reaction. This was severe. I mean, because if you think about it, if he had shot an actual, because the dog is a police officer, of course. I don't want to get into all that, but say the dog is a police officer. Had he actually shot a real police officer, we wouldn't be having this conversation about his mom being arrested. The conversation, she'd be on TV crying, saying her son was good, and that misunderstood, because you shoot a real police officer, they shooting you. We know that's the history of how it works. So
you don't even have to shoot.
And now they talking about marching because he done got shot, but you ain't say he out there shooting at the police too.
Yeah.
We gotta look. We gotta take accountability for what we do. Yeah, we want to hold the police accountable, but we gotta hold ourselves accountable too. Because if I'm out, that's just like somebody coming in your home. You ain't just letting them come in. There's gonna be some resistance. So just like they protecting your home, you protecting your home, they got to protect themselves because they want to go home to their family as well. So you got to be careful because it's a double-edged sword when you talking about he's shooting at the police.
Right.
So hey, and it might not sound good. Some people gonna get mad. They gonna say Sly ain't no good. But hey, mama need to go and sit her ass down too. She might need to go and sit down in the jail for a little bit too. You know what I'm saying?
This one time I'm with you, Sly. I know I usually have to shake my head at you, but this one time I'm with you.
If not,
I agree with you, dog.
At least house arrest. If she's not in jail, put on an ankle monitor. Do something to make so they can keep up with and make her take a parenting class on the computer.
My question would be whether there are other children in the home and whether physically removing her from the home for an extended period of time would cause more harm than good. I think it's something that you got to look at the totality of the circumstances.
Yeah, you do, because now you putting that kid at a disadvantage as well without the mother. I get it. Damon Williams had a point. He said if that dog was a civilian, no one would care.
I take that back. Now, I don't know. You know, white folk love their dog.
Hey, listen, white people love their dog.
White people love their dog. You shoot a white dog.
I love my dogs.
But it ain't. I was gonna say it ain't just white folk no more. You know, we didn't slid over into their territory too.
I love my dogs.
If he had shot a white dude, they would a white dude, a white woman, anybody white, they would have definitely killed. But if he shot one of us, probably not so much. It'd been all right.
Yeah.
They
Well,
dirt on it and brush it off.
You know what I believe should happen to the woman, happen to the mom, because the kid gonna go to jail. You know, it ain't no we ain't really questioning whether or not the kid he gonna go to some type of juvenile jail or something like that. He gonna sit down a while. But I think the mom should spend the weekends in jail. You know, they have, I've seen cases where they'll let people go to jail on Friday night and get
yep,
out on
on
Sunday
Sunday.
night, and then, so they can go to work. They can go to work during the week.
They
I
do
think
that with a lot of DUI cases. When they get them DUI, they let them come in on the weekend and get them off the street.
Teddy just jumped on the line. Shout out to Teddy, man. Teddy brought up something that was interesting in one of the comments. Teddy said that this, and I want to pull this exact quote, man. I want to get him exactly right. But he said that this is kind of reminiscent. This action that Leon Lott is giving is kind of reminiscent to the '94 crime deal. And he's saying it's kind of overreaction like the '94 crime deal.
Yeah.
And for those of y'all not familiar with the '94 crime deal, and I don't want to say it completely wrong, you can correct me if I'm right, but what ended up happening, just a big reaction to the drugs and everything that was in our community. Some black lawmakers, black leaders got together and said we need to come up with new sentencing laws for people with drug crimes. And that threw a lot of brothers went to jail for the '94 crime deal and spent a lot of time in jail for drug related charges. And it's a double-edged sword. Because quite honestly, you took a lot of people off the street who honestly needed to be off the street, but you took some people who were just junkies who were just not even junkies. They just were, they just brought drugs and they ended up going to jail, getting a felony, and that's sticking and ruining their lives. So the '94 crime bill was a bad thing, but it was also at that time, nobody had a problem with it when it happened at that time.
I think I read it. I read Teddy's comment, but I think also sometimes you got to put stuff in context. Most of the violent crimes now that are being committed by people under the age of 25. And then if you even look at it a little, you go and dig in it deeper, you got kids that are 16, 17. I just saw a case in the low country. The kid was 18 and 16 and they killed a 17-year-old. So it is a call to action. We have to do something because we got to save our youth. A whole generation being wiped out because they think that the drill music, drilling and all this stuff, carrying guns is cool. Like when we were growing up, I didn't have no gun at 16, 15, 14. I couldn't even find access to a gun. So the fact that a 13-year-old has access to a gun, that's serious. That is something that needs to be really addressed. And so if the kids can't be held accountable just by this, because they're gonna keep doing it, lock the parents up, put their butt in jail, show them a better way, because clearly there's some horrible parents out there. Not all, but then grandmamas now are 40. So I mean it makes for an even worse situation because they still out there twerking and shaking their butt. So they can't show the kids a better way.
You got to give them kids some structure, man. If we don't give kids structure, it doesn't matter. You have to give them structure. Every kid wants structure. Now, if you allow them to become accustomed of doing what they want, you're gonna have a problem. I think you can go. It's easy to go from being too strict to loosening up once you get them to where you want them to be, and you can trust them, like Sly said about his 16-year-old, than being too loose and then trying to tighten down on a kid that you let run wild.
Yep.
We create these monsters, and then when something happens, we want to sit up here and play like this was a good kid and they made such great choices. No, we got to stop that and just call it a spade, like Sly said. If you get mad with it, then you get mad with it. It is what it is.
Yeah, I didn't want to mention this, but she brought it up, so I guess we can speak on it. Our classmate Brandy, her son died of gun violence. Her son was shot by another youngster. I guess I'm not sure who did the shooting or whatever, but her son was a youngster and he was murdered And shout out, Brandy has an organization, Walk with Ryan. I think that's the name. Correct me if I'm wrong, Brandy. Let me know. But I think it's like Walk for Ryan or Walk with Ryan. Her son, Ryan Rowe, was murdered. So if y'all can, I don't know if she posts that information. She can post that information about Walk with Ryan. But yeah, man, gun violence is. And my thing is, I'm just a believer. Kids are going to do the wrong thing, like Ron said, if they don't have any structure. If they don't have any structure, kids are going to do the wrong thing. Most kids, if they come from a background where they didn't structure, no one's informing them of the right thing to do, they're going to do the wrong thing. And that's why I believe parents should be held accountable. Parents should be held. Ron, you're an elementary school teacher, so I guarantee you know what parents care about their kids and what parents don't. You can see it. When my son was in elementary school, I was at the school. My son is in the 10th grade, and I had the day off in early December. I just showed up to the school. He ain't do nothing wrong. He wasn't in trouble, but I just showed up and just let him know. Hey, you a big boy, but daddy's still here. I'm still gonna pop up,
Yeah.
I think it's important to point out, though, one thing, that not all bad kids are the result of bad parents. You have some kids that are just rebels with a cause, and no matter how much a parent tries, it's just not going to work. I mean, I remember when I was a criminal defense attorney, I had a case in which, one of the sons had earned a scholarship, and he just so happened to be out and about with his older brother and got involved in a shootout. And of course, because he was present, the whole hand of one, hand of all, he got caught up in it. And the mother, came to my office, and she was like, I don't give a damn what happens to that older one, because that one, I've never been able to do anything with that one. She was like, but I need you to help, get my baby off so that he can, move forward with his future and whatnot. And it was obvious that she was a hard worker, that she did what she needed to do. It was just one of the boys ended up being a bad egg. It happens.
Listen, one quick correction, Sly. One quick correction. It's for Ryan's sake. For Ryan's sake. And you can learn more about that at www.forryansake.org. For Ryan's sake.
Yeah, there you go. That's Brandy's
foundation
for her son. But see, that's the thing, and I think also with what Leon Lott is doing with this program, or what he's trying to do, the parents who are actually trying to do right by their kids, they won't be affected. If your kids are bad,
exactly,
and you have proof that, hey man, I'm trying to put him in this, I'm trying to put him in that, and he just bad. He just bad. You won't worry about going to jail. But if you that parent who's out at 3 a.m. trying to cover for your kid,
right?
You the one.
You got problems.
You
got issues.
Exactly.
You are the one this law is for. You're the one. But I'm gonna tell you, working in elementary now for, I guess, almost 20 plus years, you see some of the ones, like we say, bad kids. Those are the ones that I like to deal with the most, because they have a lot of potential. Yeah. It's just that structure piece that they're missing. And I know we can't, as educators and those that work in the school system, we can't go home with them and be with them 24/7. But we have this thing, it's called Each One Reach One. And we try to reach these kids as much as possible and give them the structure and some of the things that they may be lacking or missing. But now, the way the things are, we can't do what the old school teachers did back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So it's some things that we just can't do, that's outside of our power. Like, we could get jacked up back in the day when we were wrong. You know what I'm saying? Now, due to people, abusing kids, you can't get them in the collar like, some of our teachers did. I won't say no names because I don't want to incriminate nobody. But we try to give them those things, but it's just certain things we can't give them. And that's the missing link from home to school and these community activities.
Bro, we got to address something right here. Courtney Session was responding to someone who was saying that they bring their kid to school smelling like weed or coming to school with they A&T out. That's what the comment was. And Courtney responded by saying, I won't say a bad parent can be classified by smoking weed and dressing sexier. Are they present? Are they holding their kids accountable? See, that's not what he said. That's not what he said. He didn't say dressing sexier or smoking weed. If you're a parent and you smoke weed in your garage or on your front porch when your child is inside the house or whatever like that, I wouldn't classify you as a bad parent. I'd classify you as somebody who like to smoke weed. But if you're going to the school smelling like weed, you going to the school smelling like weed, or you're going to the school. There's a difference between dressing sexy and having your ass and titties out. It's a difference, and we all know the difference. We all know what's dressing sexy and what's dressing slutty. We know the difference. You know, hell, I like dressing stuff.
And it's a time and place for your ass and titties out.
It is.
It's just not.
Don't do school.
Not doing third period. That's all.
Hello.
Y'all will be surprised. Yeah. Y'all will be surprised, dog, how many times we walk in the front office and you got somebody in there with literally, dog, a lady came in. She had on a robe. And I know it was pretty much nothing up under there because the top of the robe was open and you could see cleavage. And I was like, man. And her daughter came in, and the crazy part is her daughter don't cause no trouble, and she's an honor roll student.
And you said,
if you get a number,
you said, man,
I didn't get no number. No, sir.
The old man that turned your head the other way?
Who, me?
Yeah, you said man and didn't look at him?
I keep going, man. That wasn't for me.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just asking.
For me.
Oh, okay.
Look at you, man. Look at you.
I was shocked in the elementary school system. I didn't know that all this time. That shocked me. That's why the kids are in the situation they're in now. Because people like
No, I'm gonna tell you what. If it had more like me, dog, not toot my own horn, but if it was more like me, it'll be a lot different in the community, dog.
Now, see, this is my thing.
Yeah, you do a lot of coaching. I think that's what's missing with a lot of these kids, though. Like when we was growing up, we had coaches that we were we had coaches that we were afraid of. Like I was scared of Mickey Pringle. Like when I got in trouble in school, and they said, "Oh, we sending you to Coach Pringle," I almost cut school to keep from going to his office. I ain't want to see him.
For real.
Like I didn't want no consequence. So I mean, that would keep me straight. When they was like, "Hey, I'm gonna send you to the coach." Nah, I'm all right. Don't send me. If they say I'm gonna send you to Coach Curlo, I'm like, cool, send me to Curlo. Good. Go down there. But you say I'm sending you to Coach Pringle, I'm like, man, I don't want to go down there.
Hey man, here go my problem. Here go my problem with women and accountability. Right here. Courtney Sessions said, we will always hold women to a higher standard. I know fathers who come with wife beaters and ball shorts, and that's okay. Hey, look, we ain't never said that was okay. We not hold. And see, this is the thing. When we try to hold somebody to a standard or hold somebody to accountability, a woman will always come back and throw that shit up. Oh, well, y'all don't treat men the same. Well, we ain't talking about men right now. We ain't talking about men. We talking about women right now. We talking about the women. We ain't talking about the men right now. Ain't nobody on here will say that we think it's acceptable for a dude to come to a school in a wife beater and ball shorts.
I'll speak on that, Court, since but they come in sagging, they come in smelling like last night, they come in, all kinds of sorts of messed up too, and it don't make it no better because it's a man, or we hold them to a different standard. It just so happened we were speaking on the comment that was made about the women dress. But yeah, men come in sagging and with the big old t-shirts on, the 1990 white tees and all that. So it happens on both sides.
At the end of the day, it's what's in the best interest of the kids. That's what it boils down to. So are we setting the standard? Are we setting an example? Are we raising the bar?
Yeah, I
That's
think
what
that's
it
what
boils down to.
I think that's what sometimes people. It's nothing wrong with if a woman want to come to school with some tight biker shorts with a butt and booty and all that kind of stuff. Cool, that's I mean, that is her choice. But you would think that when I get up in the morning, when my daughters are here with me, I get up, I shower. My expectation: you get up, you take a shower. Don't put on the
Right.
clothes on yesterday because I don't put on the clothes yesterday. Make sure your nails are clean because I keep my nails clean. Keep your hair done. The basic stuff because that's what I do. So the expectation is I example for my child. So if I walk out the house with dirty clothes on every day, looking busted and bummy and stink, I can't tell my child not to because I'm not holding the standard, and they're gonna think that's acceptable. That's kind of more what we're saying. But because you dress a certain way, don't make you a bad parent. I appreciate that she showed up to school. That means she cares enough to show up to school, but she didn't think of, hey, what about these males that's gonna be here? Not only that, if I got a daughter, I don't want to come to school with some tight sweatpants on and my thing hanging out, because then her friends might see that and be like, your daddy a little slut. He got it. You know what I mean? Like, I want to
What they gonna say? Hey, Ron, you a what?
Your daddy a slut. He got them
slut. You a
they
nasty
them
slut.
sweatpants is painted on. Ugh. You know what I'm saying?
But we have a responsibility not to only show up for our kids, but to show them how we show up. There, like you said, there's a time to dress sexy, there's a time to be business casual, and there's a time for athletic gear. It's not when you're going for a parent-teacher conference. It's not when you're going to the award ceremony. It's just not the time for it. And we can sit up here and say whatever we want to say, but right is right and wrong is wrong. We have to teach them not only about school and doing right, but how we're supposed to present ourselves when we're out in public, so somebody can take us seriously when we do go out.
And let's take it a step further, though. The way you show up as a parent can impact how school administrators and whatnot interact and treat your children.
And talk to you.
Yes. So it all ties together. And that's the thing that we just have to, like I like to say, go to the balcony and get the full picture. And again, I go back to, it's all about what's in the best interest of the kids, and are we setting the standard?
Yeah. Like I said, we have to care about our own community before we can expect somebody else to care about our community. And we have to be the change that we want to see.
I mean,
exactly.
See, I think
like when people say that,
I think, hold on, man. I think Court, you missing the point completely. I know you're smarter than this. I know you're smarter than this. She said, if the parents are present, I couldn't care less what they're wearing. Many mothers are single doing their best. We have no idea what it takes to be there. Same for solo fathers. You're missing the point. You're missing the point 100%. It's not that if she comes to court, if she comes and she has on out of fashion clothes or clothes that aren't, the best clothes, the best wear, it's no problem with that. It's no problem with that. It's just that's what you can afford to wear. You wear that. But if you come to school looking like a slut, you come to school looking like a whore, that don't belong. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about what doesn't belong.
I think Tamika really captured what it is that we're trying to say, because Tamika stated that she personally chooses to try to represent positively for young women. It's her responsibility. Representation matters, and it does. It does matter. It matters. And that's the point we're trying to drive home. Yeah.
And the thing is, Court, you're accepting something that you would never accept. You're trying to get us to accept something that you would never do yourself. You know what I'm saying? I know you would never come looking like you're a streetwalker. And I don't know about now. You used to have a body where you could do it. I don't know what your body looks like now, but I know, hey,
look at this clown.
Back in the day, hey,
look at this fool. Hey man, listen,
you can have them things out, but you wouldn't go to school with them things out. I know that.
But when they talk about showing
up your girl,
You gotta
Yeah.
think, if you think about showing up and going to school, those same women that come to school that way, they wouldn't go to work that way. And why wouldn't they? Right? Because it's a standard. So why would you wouldn't go to work in a robe? You wouldn't go to work a certain kind of way. There's a certain standard that you want to hold while you're at the job. So why would you embarrass your kids and go to school any kind of way? Being a single parent has nothing to do with you being too lazy to get up and comb your hair and put on some clothes. Because in this generation, day and age, you can put on a pair of leggings and a top and it be considered dressy. So that is an excuse. You putting on a robe is an excuse. You can get up and brush your teeth and wash your face and put on something decent to come up here so your kid don't feel embarrassed. Like you ain't got on no suit or no prom dress, but damn, like you can't tell me putting on them little slippers and some shorts. You ain't got the same time to put on something halfway decent. It's for 30 minutes.
But we also got to remember that we're trying to build these kids for the future.
Correct.
We don't want to see these kids walking in their kids' school or to an interview dressed a certain way. You know what I mean? You gotta prepare them, like I said, you gotta educate the whole child, man. You gotta teach them everything, man, because unfortunately in the Black community, we don't have much room for error. We don't always get that second chance. We don't always get that benefit of the doubt. Well, they didn't have such and such or this, right? We just get looked over, get passed on.
Right.
And I know you've seen it in your profession, Ms. Bates.
I have. Gotta work twice as hard, sometimes more than that, to get half the credit. And that's just real.
And you probably don't get half the credit.
Correct. So no, we have to raise the bar, period. Yeah. I can't bend on that. I can't bend on that. The way I carry myself as a woman is not just as an example for other young ladies or other women out there. I have a son. I don't want my son breaking no hoe home. There are some women out there for a long time, and there are some that are just for a good time. And I don't want my daughter, because my husband has a daughter from a previous marriage that I consider my daughter because she is. And I wouldn't want her out there representing herself like that for a guy to not take her seriously because of the way she carries herself. Because, like you said, Ron, first impression. Yeah. And that's just the reality. That's the reality. We can go and we can be in this fairy tale world and say, well, we shouldn't judge by a book by its cover, and we shouldn't, shoulda, coulda, woulda. That's reality. That's reality. That's the world that I operate in. It is what it is. You are judged by how you carry yourself, how you speak, how you act, how you engage. That's facts.
Steven Xavier, my dog, Big Steve, say not all of us had a Coach Braun we saw in a suit. Some of us ain't have the same tribe. Each one teach one. And that's the point I'm trying to make. You know, all of us have been blessed in some kind of way. Mm-hmm. Nikki is more, financially, not, and all that. So it's our responsibility to give back. Take that knowledge that we've gained in the world, in these colleges and these professional settings, and teach these kids earlier than we were taught. Teach them. Make the world better.
Before we get too far, man, we got to give a shout out, man. People giving stars. We got to give a shout out to our unofficial photographer, Myra's Eye Photography. Go and talk to them. Go to Myra's Eye Photography, LLC.com. Go and talk to her and get you set up for your booking to get all of your photography needs done. She'll take care of all your pictures and have you looking nice and neat. Go and give her a call at 803-351-1326. Get you an outdoor session, 1 hour for $175. Choose the location of your place or your choice. Get you a studio session for $250. Go ahead and get your pictures and everything done by Myra's Eye Photography, LLC.com. Go and check out. and get all your photography stuff done.
I know for a fact she's dope. I've witnessed her now that she's such a young lady. I mean, when she was even younger doing this stuff. So it's good to see that she's come a long way. And congratulations to you, Miss Mar. There she go. Hey, girl.
There you go. See all the pictures and everything that she's taking, all the good looking people. Hey, she specializes in making ugly people look good. So go ahead. If you are a little bit facially challenged and you
So
need
why
to look
haven't
better,
you booked her yet? What's your delay?
because I'm
You,
fine. Well,
you need
fine.
you need
You
the
should have booked 2 years ago.
I can't.
you need the deluxe pack.
I
Hold on.
can't.
Hey,
Hold
Ron,
on.
you need the
Y'all need to
premium.
really stop doing slide like that though. Now
I'm
come
fine.
on now.
I'm
You
fine.
need
Come on now.
Hey, Ron, you need the premium platinum pack.
Hate does not look good on y'all. I don't want to hate, man. Well, yeah, but we had to get that little commercial break in, man. Make sure you support our
Definitely support. And
but
they can take care of your DJ needs. If
yeah,
you
and
need a
they can take care
DJ
of your
for a
DJ.
basketball game, football, all them parties, they got you. DJ D-Rec and DJ D2.
Hey, here's something brought up. Algernon just brought this up. He said they might have to start implicating a dress code for parents if they aren't already doing it. Now
Some of them are starting slide. You're laughing, but at the beginning of the year, they're stopping the cell phones and electronics for kids and trying to mandate how parents can come into the school. They're trying to get the right to tell them if you're not dressed properly, you can't come in. But you better have the SRO on hand when you do that.
Oh yeah. You better have a cop in there.
Yes, sir.
Trying to turn some parents
Yeah.
around.
Like Damon said, some schools already have it. I agree, Damon.
Wow.
And it's sad that that's even necessary.
Yeah.
And I think that's the point that we're making, that parents are incapable of policing themselves. That's ridiculous.
But we're not asking you to come in with a three-piece suit.
No. Just
We're
be
not
appropriate.
asking. That's it. Have everything covered up. And we know certain races are a little more endowed in certain areas than others. Because I saw the comment, we're not white women. I saw the comment. That's why I'm responding to it now. So we know we have to do certain things to cover up certain areas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's all we're saying. Just come presentable.
Exactly.
Present yourself as you would want somebody to be presented to you if you were in that situation.
But Damon just said something that I was about to point out. Everybody gets this dopamine high from posting these sexy pictures and getting likes. They carry that ish over into the real world. Attention is truly a drug.
Yeah, you ain't getting paid
They
for
don't
that
look like
attention, though. And
They don't have
that
those
kind of
filters on,
attention ain't good.
Ron.
they don't look like that. I've seen a couple of them in the real world. I'm like, wait a minute. You were light skinned in your.
Unfortunately, Court, when you talk about coming into the school, it is the views of the other people, because if the principal or the superintendent don't feel that you're appropriately dressed, they hold the right to tell you cannot enter their school. So it definitely is the view of others. Unfortunately, that's the way it is.
Yeah. She said, court just said, but appropriate dress is based on that person views, not other. And like Brian said, it's not based on somebody else's view. Appropriate dress is based on whoever's making the rules. Whatever the rule
and the parents are
is.
not making the rules.
That logic just sounds crazy, because there's a dress code everywhere.
Right.
But the parents don't want to be police. You can't go to court any way you want to. Go wear a robe in court and see what happens.
Okay.
Like, that's weird to me. Like, when people say, "Oh, it is not up to you individually." You go to a company, they tell you what you can and can't wear. You can't walk into an office building with the little fluffy thing. Like, that's just reality of the world. So let's stop acting like it only applies to school. And as a parent, you should need to be policed. Who got to tell you how to dress?
Oh man!
Unless you're a stripper.
David just brought something.
If you're a stripper, you was
David just brought something up. He said, "Y'all want to see some stuff? Go to a youth football game." Boy, you ain't never lied. Them single mamas be out there at a youth football game.
I'm gonna tell you, hey, Slide. We say
First down,
football, but I'm gonna tell you where it's worse at. Track meet.
Oh,
The outdoor track meet. God, I'd be like, man, this is not the club. They be dressed for the club, boy. It be crazy, dog.
well, I was so happy. I was married during the time when my son played youth football and I coached youth football. Boy, I said, "Woo, Lord." I said I could only concentrate on the field. We had one lady who would come to practice every day and walk around the track in her high heel shoes. She had on stilettos and was walking around the track in booty shorts and stilettos, talking about she wanted to strengthen her calves. And that's what she was going to do. I was like, bitch, you know what you do.
Nah,
You better stop playing. You better stop playing out here. It- but it's funny that youth football is in Atlanta. I don't know how big it is in Columbia, but in Atlanta, it's a huge money making thing in Atlanta.
Mm.
you
And
football?
youth
It's huge
football.
here. Oh yeah, it's huge here too.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
but what they do, we have like organizations. You have like let's just say your team is the uh, Columbia Capitals organization, and so you might have 12 under, 11 under, 10 under, all the way down to 6 under, all under one umbrella, and all the coaches,
Mhm.
everybody work under one umbrella, but you have the individual teams up under that umbrella. So what we would do, the particular organization that I coached in when my oldest son played, we had a coaches meeting at the beginning of the year where you gathered all the coaches. And the first thing out of our director's mouth was, he said, hey, don't go trying to fuck on none of these mamas. That was the first thing out of his mouth. And you know, I was new to youth football. I didn't know what all I was getting into. And I was like, damn, is that necessary for you to say? He said, don't worry about it. Just wait. Just wait. And that inappropriate dress, and then you got these weak-minded brothers out here trying to, hey, your son get a little bit extra playing time. You know, you talk to me on the side, you know, some bullshit like that. It sounds funny, but I know that ain't what we were talking about, but it happens. It happens.
Mm.
So
No doubt.
but yeah, but all this goes back to accountability. All this goes back to accountability. You need to be accountable for your son. Teddy just said if they go forward with this, it'll be mostly black women paying the price. Yeah, that's true. I mean, just being honest, that's the one thing that I'm worried about this whole act that Leon Lott, what that Sheriff Lott wants to do. You know it's going to be all the people that get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because they say when white people have a cold, black people have the flu. You know, it always hits us harder. But the thing is, you know, maybe just maybe some of us need a kick in the ass. Some of us need that kick in the ass. And going back to the original thing that started all this off, if that mom would have had a kick in the ass a couple of years ago, her 13-year-old son would not have been stealing cars at 3 in the morning and carrying a gun. You see what I'm saying? If she would have had a kick in the ass a couple of years ago, that kid wouldn't have been 13 years old carrying a gun and stealing cars at 3 in the morning. So somebody got to be made an example. Somebody got to be made an example. And I don't know the young lady, but hopefully you are made an example, and hopefully people can say, hey, hopefully people say, I don't want to end up like her. So we'll find out, and we'll definitely find out sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Oh well. Man, check this out, man. We're having a good conversation, man. This thing going on a little bit over an hour. We ain't planning on doing that long, man. But it's still a good conversation. Hopefully somebody hears this. You know, somebody like say Algernon Goddard, he's a brand new daddy. We appreciate you checking us out,
Yes, sir.
He's a brand new daddy, and I know Frankie was raised by good folk. So hopefully he'll continue to raise his kid the way his parents raised him. And you know, hopefully he don't have them problems, man. I had a guy, and when it comes to that youth football coaching, he told me He said, man, you can't save everybody. He said, you can't save everybody, but you can, the ones you can save, make sure you try your hardest to save them. And so everybody ain't gonna make it. This law or enforcement of the law, because technically it's already a law. It's already a law that you can be arrested if your kid is fucking up. That's already a law. But hopefully the enforcement of this law will allow some other parents to straighten up. Some other parents to say, hey man, I got to get my kid right because I don't want to go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. There you go. Oh man. Well, we getting close to the end, man. We appreciate all y'all checking us out, man. We got any parting shots, man? Sheriff Brown, you got anything to say before we get up out of here?
Man, since we talking about community and kids, I just want to give a shout out to our baseball organization, the Carolina Reds, our director, Poker Reese, and his wife, Sharetta Reese, and all the coaches that's associated with the organization that gives of their time and themselves to kind of help the community, man, and get baseball back into the Black community. Y'all are greatly appreciated. The things you do does not go unnoticed.
Shout out to Poker Reese and all the good people over there. Hey, Ron, you got anything to say before we get out of here?
Happy New Year to everybody. Hopefully everybody that's watching this is healthy, safe, and enjoying life. Looking forward to a prosperous 2025. And just to add on about our comment we were speaking on earlier, I try to do the each one teach one. That's why I only date single mothers with kids.
Okay. We appreciate you helping out the community, man. We appreciate it. We appreciate you helping out the community, man. We need that. Our unofficial legal counsel, the one and only Nicole Bates Davis.
Hey, Ron just messed me up with that. But like Ron, I want to give a shout out to an organization as well. The organization is the Ram Foundation. Our former classmate, Deetra Stover Matthews, is the CEO. To keep kids off the street during the summer, they offer a free 6-week summer enrichment program. The kids go on a field trip every Friday. The purpose is that we believe that if the kids could see it, they could be it. We have entrepreneurs come in. They take them to the courthouse. They take them horseback riding. Try to give the kids the experience, of a lifetime. So, if you can donate, I would ask you to do so. It's a really great program, and they're definitely looking out for the kids and making a difference.
Well, this is the RIP 28 podcast, man. It's a podcast where a few friends get together and we talk about a few things. Some of those things you might like, some of those things you might not like, but we keep on talking about them on the RIP 28 podcast. And I want to give this shout out to everybody for the year 2025. Nobody gives a good goddamn who you cutting off in 2025. Nobody cares that you're proclaiming 2025 to be your year. Nobody cares what you're going to do in 2025. Don't nobody give a good goddamn what you write on Facebook or on Twitter, on Instagram, saying you're going to do. Just go out and do it and shut the fuck up and let us see you doing what you think you're going to do. Other than that, y'all have a very prosperous 2025. We're Harlem.
Hey, Ron, sleep. Wake up, Ron.
I mean,
Somebody was texting me about my comment, and I had to let him know I was just